You're watching TVC Breakfast. Let's see what the headlines are across Nigerian newspapers this morning. And we'll begin with the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says, South APC to Adamu. Gbajabiamila Sanwo-Olu Fayemi's visit to Wike demarketing our party. Says, on holy pilgrimage endorsement of opposition PDP. Okay? And it urges Rivers governor to join party through front door. All right, these are all fallouts from the main story there. Gbajabiamila Sanwo-Olu Fayemi's visit to Wike demarketing our party, as some members of the party in the South saying that to the national chairman, as it is. From there, let's go to the Guardian newspaper. Guardian says APC dressing Nigeria in borrowed robes. Atiku slams Buhari's policies. APC dressing Nigeria in borrowed robes. Atiku slams Buhari's policies. That's on the Guardian. The Daily Times is next, and he says, those who should be marketing my regime not doing so. President Buhari is quoted as saying this, berates previous administrations for not being committed to economic infrastructure development. All right, says his administration will leave legacy projects nationwide. Okay, that's Daily Times here. And from there, let's go to the Nation newspaper, which is the last one I'm holding. Buhari saying we've done well with available resources. We've done well with available resources. That's what it's on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Veronica.
All right, so the front page of the Daily Trust now. Insecurity. Northern governors, monarchs, back state police to harvest 2,000 megawatts of solar power, says ASU strike hits North more, call for truce. Insecurity, Northern governors, monarchs, back state police to harvest 2,000 megawatts of solar power, says ASU strike hits North more, call for truce. You find the details on the front page of the Daily Trust. And we move now to this Nigerian newspaper. Prolonged ASU strike. NANS protests ground Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Students will continue to occupy major highways until school resume. All right, prolonged ASU strike. NANS protests grounds Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Students will continue to occupy major highways until school resume. You find the details on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. Kemi.
Right, Veronica, well, the different slant for Nigerian News Direct. Its lead story says, Senate rejects 12.43 trillion naira budget deficit, 6 trillion naira tax, as well as import duties waivers. Of course, all these regarding the 2023 budget, even the current budget too, still, being reviewed. Now we hear Senate rejects 12.43 trillion naira budget deficit. This remains a really major concern. Now to Nature News, talking about an eye on the environment. The big story there is severe drought threatens 600 million people across Africa. As the African Development Bank says, Africa has 15% GDP to climate change, while the U.S. commits $200 million to address climate change in Nigeria. Talking about climate change, we'll get to talk about that during the course of the program this morning. Now, Business Day is the last paper. With me, foreign outflows from Nigerian stocks slow on FX shortage. Business Day there saying foreign outflows from Nigerian stocks slow on FX shortage. And these are the major stories in the dailies this morning.
All right, I'd like us to look at the stories on the front page of Daily Times and also from the Nation newspaper. Now, the point there is we see that the government is doing all it can. For Nigerians to judge whether they're satisfied is totally something else
right.
For Nigerians to judge. But when it comes to construction of infrastructure and, railways and bridges and roads and so on, well, we see that in some parts of the country. But on the other hand, these expressways or the bridges or the trains, not all Nigerians are utilizing them. Either because they're not in the position or in the place or in the location where these things are. But what they feel the most that goes across the country is the price of food and things like that.
Yeah.
No, but we hear on the front page, the credited to the president, say, those who should be marketing my regime are not doing so. And it looks like the president is frustrated here. And the president is the embodiment of God on earth. I wonder,
And for a long time,
I wonder what you can make of this.
and for a long time, the president had been touted of, is immune the word? I'm not sure of being, immune. Having sitting at a position where, where it seemed like, he really didn't care how it was being projected by even his handlers. And I recall that I think we were bantering at a point where we said that, well, if you look at it infrastructure-wise, the government appears to be doing much, but all those things will not matter. You talked about prices of food, and when you find out that these things are intricately linked somewhat to the level of insecurity, and for people, this is what really counts. Of course, it's fine to have beautiful streets here and there, the expressways, all looking, well, carved out. But then, maintenance is an issue. It's still an issue of these installations, of this really. And when you look at the monies that have even gone down into making this project happen, the Chinese loans, the IMF, loans, and all that, it comes at a huge cost when you really think about it. But when you look at the lane green challenges on ground, the president talked about that. He was speaking in Imo State when he went to commission some projects. So, well, it remains for him. Like we said the other time, the people will still judge, APC, the people will still judge the Buhari administration. And this, he came in riding on, pillars on what someone was saying that he's going to be assessed on what he graded for himself.
Absolutely.
On the benchmarks that he gave himself, insecurity, security, economy, and these issues are still what
Fighting
people
corruption.
are talking about, and corruption.
Yeah. Well, the point there is insecurity on one hand, fighting corruption, and then the economy. These three factors, if Nigerians want to rate the government right now based on how they feel, wow, I don't know what they're going to say, but the point there is I believe Nigerians will have there will be mixed reactions
Of course, you
to
always
what
have mixed
Nigerians
reaction
feel
to,
and all of that.
everything. There are those who will laud the president for doing extremely well, like he has said, and there are those who will say, no, the president has not
done anything. Some will say he has not done
they are
anything.
not feeling that impact. But then again, it rests on those who were supposed to promote what the president was doing or is doing, like he rightly pointed out. Why didn't they market what the president was doing? I mean, was it so difficult for them to do? They had a responsibility. It means, from his point of view, from his statement, they failed at doing what they were supposed to do. They didn't deliver. And I'm wondering why. Is it because of all this that we have mentioned, the challenge of insecurity? It was difficult for them to actually market what the president was doing because perhaps the realities were not aligning with what they would want to come and market. And so they decided to keep quiet or be silent about it. But we know a person like Lai Mohammed, who was always very vocal, come out to speak about some of the things the president
even
had done.
coined the word whalers.
Of course, at some point. So perhaps the message is not getting to where it should get to. Have we addressed the issues that are really pinching people? Those are the issues, perhaps, that have made it quite difficult for them to market the president. I don't wear their shoes. I don't know what their responsibilities are, but I am just saying.
Yeah.
I will not play the devil's advocate. Anyway.
But the point there is, in a situation where the president knows this, and no heads are rolling, nobody is fired, everything is just going, and then the president complains like any other person. But the point there is you have the power to hire and fire.
Right.
You got somebody to do you a job. The person is not doing the job and you feel dissatisfied, you should be able to fire someone. But he's not firing anybody. He's complaining just like you and I will complain or talk about anything that, or we analyze anything that is either going well or not going well. The president is not the same person as all of us when it comes to status of office.
Absolutely.
And there's a growing sentiment that we have upon us, a lame duck administration. I think that is even the crucial task before the exiting Buhari administration now. Yes, we can say there is no time between now and the next general election, February, March next year. But, when you look at the number of days, for the average Nigerian, one day right now could matter. People looking at where is the next meal coming from. We're having more and more people starving, more and more people going to bed hungry without food, more and more people in need of basic of money, to get the essentials. So people are still looking up, in spite of the gloom, there is still hope. People are still looking up to the Buhari administration to do the needful. Because Vero was saying the other time that our security agencies, they can deliver. We've seen them deliver when they want to, and that is a wrong narrative. Why should it be when they want to? Why should it be there? Why do we have
or
to
when
wait
they have the go ahead
selective handling of these crucial things? We need the government somehow can still do more.
I'm wondering why the president actually waited to this point to make this statement that they are not marketing him as he wants to.
Well,
but whichever way
but
it is.
from that statement, if he actually made the statement the way it is, it looks like the president is frustrated and doesn't know anything to do about it.
Right.
And if that's the situation, then it really is a sad one.
He's still in charge.
But I just hope that that is not the situation.
narrative will change.
I'm only just hoping,
Right.
you know.
Absolutely.